Hello, dear listeners, and welcome to my podcast. Today, we are diving deep into a topic that resonates with every single one of us: overcoming fear and anxiety. These emotions are universal, affecting each of us in various aspects of our lives. Whether it's the fear of failure, the anxiety of uncertainty, or the trepidation of stepping out of our comfort zones, we all face these feelings at some point. I understand very well what you are feeling because I have also faced great fears and anxieties. However, the most important thing is how we overcome them, and that's exactly what we're going to explore today. Let's start with a story about a close friend of mine. He had a stable job, but always harbored the fear of failure if he decided to pursue his passion, opening a small cafe. The anxiety about not succeeding, the potential debts, and how to maintain a business during difficult economic times made him hesitate. He often shared with me his dreams and his fears. He would say, "What if it fails? What if I end up in debt? What if I disappoint my family?" These questions haunted him, keeping him from taking the leap for years. But eventually, he decided to confront those fears. He started with the smallest steps, like researching the market, saving up funds, and slowly building his business plan. Gradually, he overcame his fear and turned his dream into reality. Today, his cafe is not just a place to enjoy drinks, but also a hub for meeting, sharing stories, and inspiring many others. It's a space filled with warmth, creativity, and the essence of someone who dared to follow their passion despite the fear. Fear and anxiety are often seen as negative emotions, but they can also be powerful motivators. They push us to prepare better, to plan meticulously, and to think deeply about our choices. However, it's crucial not to let them paralyze us. We must learn to control these emotions, to harness them for our benefit. Another story that comes to mind is about a young entrepreneur I once met. She bravely left a stable job to start a new technology product. Initially, she faced many challenges, from lack of capital and manpower to technological hurdles. But these difficulties taught her perseverance and the ability to confront her fears. I remember her telling me, "Every night I would worry if I had made the right choice, if I was capable enough, if people would believe in my vision." She learned to turn fear into motivation to keep striving. She reached out for mentorship, collaborated with others who shared her vision, and kept pushing forward. Now her company has become one of the fastest-growing tech enterprises in the region. Her journey is a testament to the power of resilience and the importance of not letting fear dictate our actions. It's not just about others. I've also gone through moments filled with anxiety and fear in my life. I once had to decide whether to leave a stable job to follow my passion in media. There were times I felt lost, unsure if my decision was right. But in those difficult moments, I learned to listen to myself, confront my fears, and keep moving forward. As a result, I found my path and felt incredibly happy with my choices. I remember nights lying awake, questioning my choices, doubting my abilities, and fearing the unknown future. But each morning, I reminded myself why I started this journey, and that gave me the strength to continue. My dear listeners, fear and anxiety are not invincible enemies. We can learn to control them, turning them into motivation for growth. Start with the smallest steps. Dare to face what scares you. Do not fear failure, as every stumble is an opportunity to learn and grow. When you embrace your fears, you begin to see them not as barriers, but as stepping stones towards your goals. When you feel overwhelmed by fear and anxiety, remember that you are not alone. Seek support from family, friends, or even like-minded individuals. Do not hesitate to share your worries because sharing is the best way to relieve pressure and find solutions. Talking about our fears makes them seem less daunting and more manageable. It opens the door to advice, different perspectives, and sometimes even solutions that we hadn't considered. Another story I would like to share is about a renowned entrepreneur who faced many ups and downs before achieving success. He started his career with numerous failures, even bankruptcy. But instead of giving up, he learned to face fear and anxiety, using them as a drive to keep going. He tried various fields, learned from mistakes, and constantly improved himself. Ultimately, he built a powerful business, becoming an inspiration to many. He often spoke about his journey, sharing how each failure taught him valuable lessons and how each setback made him stronger and more determined. I also want to tell you about a friend who was once very anxious about her future. She always felt pressured by family and society to have a stable job and a peaceful life. But deep down, she always longed to do what she loved, becoming a writer. She spent many years doing jobs she wasn't passionate about just to please those around her. However, the anxiety and fear of not living true to herself gradually pushed her to change. She bravely left her job, started writing, and eventually became a famous author. Her journey was filled with self-doubt and fear, but also immense joy and fulfillment. She often tells me, "The scariest thing was not failing, but the thought of never trying." These stories show that facing fear and anxiety is not easy, but if we can use them as a source of motivation, we can achieve our desires. Remember, no path is paved entirely with roses, but every step on a thorny path helps us grow and become stronger. Each challenge, each fear faced, is a step towards becoming the person we are meant to be. In life, there are moments when we feel like we are standing at a crossroads, unsure of which direction to take. Fear and anxiety about the future can make us hesitant. But remember, every decision brings its own opportunities and challenges. Do not let fear hold you back. Be brave and seek new opportunities. Life is too short to be spent in the shadow of fear. I remember a time when I had to make a significant career decision. I felt very anxious, unsure if I could succeed. But instead of letting fear control me, I found ways to overcome it. I made detailed plans, sought support from experienced people, and kept learning. As a result, I achieved unexpected successes and felt very proud of myself. That experience taught me that fear is a natural part of the process, but it should never stop us from moving forward. Dear listeners, we live in a constantly changing and developing world. It is crucial to learn how to adapt and face new challenges. Fear and anxiety can be significant obstacles, but they can also become motivation for self-improvement. Turn negative emotions into positive energy, using them to drive yourself forward. Embrace the unknown, for it is often where the greatest opportunities lie. When you feel fear or anxiety, remember that nothing is impossible. Focus on your goals, believe in your abilities, and keep striving. Do not let fear make you miss out on opportunities. Face and overcome it bravely. Each time you do, you grow a little stronger, a little wiser, and a lot more resilient. Another example I want to share is about a group of entrepreneurs who faced immense challenges when launching their startup. They had a brilliant idea but lacked the resources to execute it. They were afraid of failing, of losing their investments, and of disappointing their supporters. Despite these fears, they pressed on. They worked tirelessly, faced numerous rejections, but never gave up. Their determination paid off when their startup finally received the funding it needed to take off. Today, their company is a leading name in the industry, proving that with perseverance and courage, any fear can be conquered. Let's also consider the story of a public speaker who once had a debilitating fear of speaking in front of large audiences. This fear was so intense that it held him back in his career and personal life. He realized that to grow and succeed, he had to confront this fear head-on. He started by speaking to small groups, gradually increasing the size of his audience. With each speech, his confidence grew. Today, he is a sought-after speaker, inspiring thousands with his words. His journey is a powerful reminder that our greatest achievements often lie on the other side of our fears. It's important to understand that fear is not something to be ashamed of. It is a natural response to the unknown and the uncertain. What defines us is not the presence of fear, but how we respond to it. Do we let it paralyze us, or do we use it as a catalyst for growth and action? When you are faced with fear and anxiety, take a moment to breathe and assess the situation. Break down your fears into smaller, manageable parts. Tackle them one by one. Celebrate each small victory as they build momentum towards overcoming the larger challenge. It's also helpful to visualize your success. Imagine yourself conquering your fears, achieving your goals, and living the life you desire. This positive visualization can be incredibly motivating and can help shift your mindset from one of fear to one of determination and hope. Remember that failure is not the end. It is simply a part of the journey. Every successful person has experienced failure at some point. What sets them apart is their ability to learn from their mistakes, adapt, and keep moving forward. Embrace failure as a learning opportunity, and it will no longer be something to fear. Another angle to consider is how fear and anxiety can be leveraged for innovation. History is filled with examples of individuals and companies that use their fears as a driving force for creativity and breakthrough. Think of Thomas Edison, who faced countless failures and criticisms before inventing the light bulb. Each failure was a step closer to success. Or consider Steve Jobs, who faced significant setbacks, including being ousted from his own company, yet used those experiences to fuel his comeback and revolutionize the tech industry. We can also look at athletes who have overcome incredible odds to achieve greatness. Muhammad Ali, who faced not only fierce competitors in the ring but also societal and personal challenges, always spoke about how he used his fear as motivation. His famous quote, "He who is not courageous enough to take risks will accomplish nothing in life," serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of facing our fears head-on. In the realm of personal development, many people have transformed their lives by addressing their deepest fears. Take, for instance, those who have battled with phobias or severe anxiety disorders. Through therapy, self-help strategies, and sheer determination, they have managed to reclaim their lives. Their stories remind us that while fear can be a formidable opponent, it is not insurmountable. It's also worth noting how different cultures approach fear and anxiety. In some Eastern philosophies, fear is seen as an illusion that can be transcended through mindfulness and meditation. Practices such as yoga and Tai Chi emphasize the importance of inner peace and resilience, teaching us that fear is just a passing cloud in the sky of our minds. These practices encourage us to stay grounded in the present moment and not be overwhelmed by our thoughts. For those in leadership positions, fear and anxiety can be particularly challenging. Leaders are expected to be confident and decisive, yet they are not immune to the same insecurities and doubts that affect us all. The most effective leaders are those who acknowledge their fears and use them to their advantage. They are transparent with their teams, creating an environment where it's safe to discuss challenges and uncertainties. This openness fosters trust and collaboration, enabling the entire organization to navigate through difficulties more effectively. Let's also talk about the impact of fear and anxiety on relationships. Fear of vulnerability, fear of rejection, and fear of losing someone can all strain relationships. It's crucial to communicate openly and honestly with loved ones about our fears. Building strong, supportive relationships can provide a solid foundation for overcoming personal challenges. Remember, we are stronger together. In the educational field, students face immense pressure and anxiety, often fearing failure and judgment. It's important for educators and parents to create supportive environments where students feel safe to express their fears and seek help. Encouraging a growth mindset, where failures are seen as learning opportunities, can help students develop resilience and a healthier approach to challenges. For those pursuing creative endeavors, fear of criticism and self-doubt can be significant barriers. Many artists, writers, and performers struggle with these feelings. However, the most successful creatives are those who push through these fears, using them as fuel for their work. They understand that not everyone will appreciate their art, but that should not deter them from expressing themselves. Let's also consider the role of self-care in managing fear and anxiety. Taking care of our mental and physical health is essential. Regular exercise, a balanced diet, sufficient sleep, and mindfulness practices can all contribute to a stronger, more resilient mind. When we feel physically well, we are better equipped to handle emotional challenges. It's also important to seek professional help when needed. Therapists, counselors, and support groups can provide valuable tools and strategies for managing fear and anxiety. There is no shame in asking for help. It's a sign of strength and a step towards healing. Lastly, let's remember the power of community. Surrounding ourselves with positive, supportive people can make a significant difference. Whether it's friends, family, or a community group, having a strong support system can provide comfort and encouragement during tough times. To wrap up, I want to express my deepest gratitude to all of you for listening to this podcast. I hope that my stories and insights have provided you with inspiration and motivation to face your fears and anxieties. Remember, you have the strength within you to overcome any challenge. Fear is not a barrier. It is a bridge to your potential. If you found this podcast helpful, please subscribe to my channel for more inspiring content. Together, let's continue to grow, learn, and conquer our fears. Thank you, and I wish you all the best on your journey towards a fearless, fulfilling life.